Welcome back. You're watching On Art. Mojarto.com is an art e-commerce venture from NDTV, and it boasts some of the country's brightest talent. This week, the world of Mojarto goes inside a gallery exhibition at Threshold Gallery and shows that art truly knows no borders.
Hello and welcome to the world of Mojarto that opens up as soon as you go to mojarto.com with a range of artwork and collectibles to choose from. But we come to you from an art exhibition held recently in honor of India's 69th year of independence, where 69 artists got together to create their versions of freedom. We have a lot of independent art on Mojarto and a lot of freedom to express it. However, when you have so much space around you, what also works is putting up big artwork on it. Here's how.
Mojarto is a one-stop shop for any of your art needs and collectibles. There are wide varieties of sizes and media that is available on Mojarto. Large format work, typically is beyond one dimension, going beyond 4 feet, 5 feet, and there are lots of such options on Mojarto. Typically, a large format work would be good if it can be viewed from a distance. So I think that is important to really do justice to a large format work, whether it's in residence or in a commercial space. For instance, a waiting lobby or a staircase, for that matter. So which really gives you and allows you to see the work from a distance. A colorful work or a minimalistic work, depending on the space that you're dealing with, a large format work can really take care of a large wall and really have an imposing presence. And lots of those options are available on Mojarto.
Now, it's our constant endeavor to bring the best of artwork from some of the best art galleries across the country to you on Mojarto as well. This time, it's the Threshold Art Gallery in Delhi that's put together a fascinating show.
Mojarto is a platform for the best of Indian art. It makes art accessible to everyone, literally. Time and again, we collaborate with leading art galleries of the country to bring a physical show to the online platform. Gallery Threshold brings revisiting beauty to Mojarto, and we are very excited and honored because not only does it have the best of Indian artists, it also has artists from Pakistan. And they both are dealing and trying to infer in their own ways the concept of beauty in the contemporary times.
Whenever there's both Indian and Pakistani artists who can be seen together, I think it raises the inevitable questions of if we can have this conversation so amicably, why can it not be replicated in politics? Why cannot it be replicated in the media? Because I think if you leave it to the artists, to the writers, to the musicians, to the creative minds of the subcontinent, I think we would see many things falling into place and we'd look towards a much brighter future.
When you speak of beauty, you are reverting or reversing that process. So you have to perhaps find some kind of a dialogue between the two. And you cannot just speak of beauty as just heavenly, beautiful thing. But it is to be associated with what we experience today in our life. That is why my own work is called Thinking Beauty in the Time of Terror.
The way I look at life, the way I see life around me, and how I react to it. All these experiences are kind of distilled and come in various forms in my own work.
Revisiting Beauty is a series that we've planned at Threshold, and it's a way of looking into the past, looking at the concept of beauty. The concept of beauty has changed with time. Beauty has not, but the concept of beauty has changed. So for this particular show, I invited 10 artists, 3 from Pakistan and 7 from India, whose work is rooted in the miniature tradition. You look at V. Ramesh's works, which are super realistic. You look at Neelima's, which quotes poetry, Gulam, which quotes poetry, Manisha Gera's work here, which are extremely personal. We have Zara, we have Varda, extremely talented artists who don't have to scream about their work, can be subtle, it can still, convey angst, it can still convey anguish.
Well, the title of the show is Revisiting Beauty, but for me, beauty is always around me. And it doesn't have to be expensive objects. For me, beauty could be picking up seeds from across the seat and picking up feathers. My current passion is picking up feathers. So whatever actually makes you look at an object and it transports you, that for me is beauty. And that's how I have always worked. I'm so happy to see that a gallery is doing a show on beauty, which till recently was not a word which was being looked at with great delight in art.
Well, that's all we have for you this week. But as we get out there, we notice that there's so much talent available, so many ways of expressing yourself, and we bring the best of it to you on Mojato, not week on week, but every day, every minute, every hour. Keep watching this space for more.
Check out mojarto.com for more. So many people want to be art auctioneers. After all, it's quite a glamorous profession, right? Well, the truth is, it requires a great deal of knowledge about both finances and art, and you've got to keep it cool despite being under a whole lot of pressure. We spoke with Christie's auctioneer William Robinson all about this coveted profession ahead of their auction in Manhattan. We know what happens at an art auction, right?
Sold here, 181 at 6,50,000, well done.
People get dressed up, sip champagne, and drop gobs of money on rare paintings.
Damien, come back in at 3.8.
But that's just one side of the story.
Sold to Anastasia at 8.2.
What about the experience for the man or woman on the other side of the podium?
Sold at 7,50,000, you said, battle 2.
The person keeping track of the bids, inviting prices to rise, and keeping the room in rapt suspense.
3 crores is here now.
These are auctioneers. Auction season is in full swing globally, and next week, Christie's Auction House will hold its biggest annual sale of South Asian art in New York City.
DK crores is here now.
In preparation for the main event, we sat down with an auctioneer to learn all about this fascinating profession.
Sir, all done and selling then. Sold. 812.
When I started at Christie's, auctioneers sat down when they were holding a sale. We now stand up. When you stand, you are more vital, your body language is stronger, and that is absolutely what you want. This isn't a quiet, sort of sedate thing. It is a performance. I'm William Robinson. I'm International Head of World Art at Christie's, and I'm also an auctioneer. My family is in the art world. My father was a curator at the Victoria and Albert Museum and specialised in Persian painting. And my grandmother, my mother's mother, was an artist. So it very much runs in the family. An auction is a lot about atmosphere. When people are happy, they probably bid more. So while this is not meant to be a comedy show, because we're talking quite serious amounts of money that are being spent, you want people to be relaxed. So it's important for me to convey that I'm in charge, I'm relaxed, this is going to be a good evening, and then the occasional joke is fine. And then people are happy with the process, they can trust it, they can see it's working, and they feel they have time, they have the opportunity to bid within that.
Sold. 812.
In simple terms, you have the auctioneer's book.
You've also got a note by the lot of how many telephones you're likely to have, which telephone numbers they are. You don't have names, but you know if there are 5 telephones, this is going to have a lot of action on it. You have the internet, so there's a screen further back in the room which flashes up, and if you register, if someone wants to bid over the internet, you have a choice of saying where you come from. It's an option, it's not compulsory. From an auctioneer's point of view, it's an absolute delight to be able to say, this is to our bidder in Pune, or this is all the way from London, if I'm taking a sale here in India. And the fourth way of bidding is the people in the room. And those, sometimes I know that Mr. Singh will be interested in bidding on a particular lot. Sometimes I have no idea. I know he's a big bidder, but he is being very discreet about what he's interested in.
Sold here, 181 at 6,50,000. Well done.
A lot of the people in the room you will know.
3-2 I have.
So you will know that this person has a limit of stops. That's it. I will always try and go back to someone I don't know. One more. And actually, a silence after that is as good as sort of trying to push them. You don't want them to feel cornered, because actually that doesn't help. That doesn't help their mood, it doesn't help them. They want to be relaxed and comfortable in making another bid, except you'd really like them to do so. So, we have a fine painting behind us, and you'll announce it, and you'll announce what it is. And then we'll start me on this. 7.5, 8, 8.5 lakh, 8.5, 8.5, 9 lakh, 9 lakh. Yours at the back, sir. It's yours at the back. 9.5. Going on, sir. 10 lakh, 11 lakh, 12, 13, 14, 15. You know, 16. Thank you very much. The back in the corner. So you're looking where the bids are coming from. You're thanking people. And you're trying to encourage them at the same time.
You're in New York City next week? Then check out Christie's auction house, where you can see their South Asian art collection in person. That's it for On Art this evening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Good night.